Well, I see, Chuck, you're enjoying lunch. Are you enjoying Rotary Club? That's okay. I don't see any lettuce in your teeth.
You're just mean, like Gary.
I know. No, but you're enjoying a lovely lunch.
It's wonderful to be here talking with Caprice. And we're talking about what is electricity and how did electricity get invented in the mind of man. And, you know, it's just fun to have these.
I had no idea.
Interesting topic.
Well, in other words, you miss the camaraderie and the conversation.
It's better to be here than to be on Zoom, is my opinion.
I'm with you. How are you?
I'm very good.
How do you like Rotary? What's it do for you?
I love it so far. It's great with connecting with different people and learning about other organizations in the community too.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you.
Greetings, everyone. We're going to start with the pledge with Doug Pierce.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mary Ann. Invocations and guests.
This is a prayer to defeat the work of Satan. Wouldn't we like to do that? O divine, eternal Father, in union with your divine Son and the Holy Spirit, and through the Immaculate Heart of Mary, I beg you to destroy the power of your greatest enemy, the evil spirits. Cast them into the deepest recesses of hell, and chain them there forever. Take possession of your kingdom, which you have created and which is rightfully yours. Heavenly Father, give us the reign of the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Immaculate Heart of Mary. I repeat this prayer out of pure love for you, for every beat of my heart, and for every breath I take. Amen. Did anyone bring a guest today? I have none on my list.
Yes and no.
So, do you want to introduce somebody or don't you? You're confusing me.
Stand up there, of course.
Gary Gilbert was his program.
Gary, how are you?
He is Lockmaster, Lock and Dam number 11. And Tim Kane is the Assistant Lockmaster.
Welcome.
Welcome, Gary. Anybody else have a guest? Okay, seeing none, I'm done.
So is this on Netflix?
I like how that rhymes.
She's a poet.
Even though the right one is so finished.
All right, so today we have birthdays to celebrate. First meeting of the month, so if we could commence the humming. There's only a few of them today. Good singers. All right, we have Jerry Schaefer, October 10th. Mike Armstrong, October 11th. Paul Hammer, October 12th. Marion Walker, also on the 12th. She's on Zoom. And Andrew Beecham on the 23rd.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rotarians. Happy birthday to you.
Hey, all right.
Boy, bro, did you get that?
A lot of good singers in this crowd.
Indeed.
All right, so various announcements today. This month is Portfolio Awareness Month for Rotary. October 24th is World Polio Day. I say portfolio too much in my job. World Polio Day.
It's a working watch.
It's a working
finances and get your shots.
All right, so as far as polio goes, obviously we're close to eradication of polio, and Rotary is continuing to try to do that. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation still has matching donations 2-to-1. So if you consider donating to the Rotary Polio Fund, then those will be matched 2 to 1. We don't have anything planned in our club. I've not heard of specifics that other clubs are doing. I'm going to look that up and see if there's something that we might want to do, or at least put on our Facebook page and other social media. So stay tuned on that. If you have any ideas, I'm all ears on that too. All right. Caprice, you have something you want to talk about today with brain health?
Yeah. So basically, I'm with the Founding Youth Program for the month of October. We're going to be recognizing brain health awareness now, and ending the stigmas, having conversation wrapped around how do we end those stigmas, and also the importance of individuals being helped that have these mental illnesses as opposed to being hurt. And I'm trying to invite some Rotarians that may have knowledge in the area of mental health. I'm looking around, I don't know if any doctors are in here, or therapists or counselors, and so I put together a team of individuals internationally for Rotary to join me as well. And so we're going to have some Rotarians from Nigeria, from Texas, and also Australia. Trying to get that one connected. I spoke with the nominee, presidential-elect Jennifer Jones, for next year on Rotary, and she's going to reach out to him to get me connected so we have a global platform to raise awareness around these issues. And so I just wanted to let you guys know and give you an opportunity, if you have experience in that area that you can talk about, or experience in the area if you've never even been in the profession, but you may have probably been a part of the problems with the stigma, because I too once was a part of the problem with the stigma because I was miseducated about the issues that dealt with mental illnesses. And so now I advocate for education and awareness to end it.
You're trying to schedule, or you want to schedule, our incoming Rotary International president, right? For
yes.
To attend via Zoom the club. So with the speaker committee, we'll have to schedule a date for that. So that'd be great for her to be, us to be exposed to her. All right. There's the Rotary Leadership Conference that's happening October 13th to 16th. It's open to anybody. I'm not able to attend, but if any of you would like information on that, it's a virtual conference, so a lot of Zoom presentations and things like that. But if you would like to attend that, I can get the information out to you. Again, it talks more about big picture of Rotary leadership and then club leadership. So obviously for HR and I, that they send it to us, but it's also available to anybody else who would like to be exposed to that. So if you would like information, shoot me an email and I'll forward it on to you.
Jim, I think Terry Fairchild is presenting at that conference.
She is. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that.
On leadership.
Yeah, right. Yep. Do you remember which day? I can't recall.
First day, I think.
First day. All right. So forgot one piece on the portfolio thing. There is a portfolio. Polio eradication event. It's going to be via Zoom, and it's going to be Zoom and YouTube Live on October 6th at 7 p.m. So I can get that information out to you as well if it's not come by email. Maybe I'll send an email around to everybody so you at least have that information. Sandy, Arboretum Cleanup Day. Anything you want to mention, or we'll just send around the sign up?
Okay, quite a few have already signed up, but it is October 24th. If it's a rain day, we can always go to the 31st because we have 2 cleanup days at the Arboretum. It's from 9 to noon, and basically all the workers get free lunch, so that's always good. And our volunteers are putting together some good food, and we'll have that served outside, so it'll be in a safe manner and people will be able to spread out. So I hope you sign up. And we look forward to I'm bringing our Rotary Rascal shirts. I know you want to wear them. And so we'll be identified as Rotarians at work on that day.
Awesome. Thank you. We have quite a few signed up already. All right, so we talked about the Airport Overlook grant, and there was a picture that was put out on Facebook. I did not have the picture pulled up for last week, so I wanted to show you. Share my screen with those.
There was an invitation sent out for the ribbon.
Yes. Oh, this is wonderful. Get that all bigger here, so you can see it. All right, so I just went out there yesterday to check it out myself. So you can't get a perspective of size from this picture, and I was quite surprised by how stout this setup actually is, and tall too. So you got the lower one for the children, the upper one. That upper one comes up to about my shoulder, and that post is, you know, pretty good size. So it's quite a piece that should be there a long time. That's the plaque that's on it. That's the best shot I could get with the sun coming in. So that's nice. And then there's the expanded view, so you can see it on the right side there. Experimental Aviation Association, the local chapter, donated the pavilion, right, Chuck? I believe. So it's hard to get a perspective on this. So you got the new terminal right in front, but then you can see to the old terminal and actually get a pretty good shot even to the old terminal. So it's a pretty neat little thing. So I at least wanted to have some better pictures for you all to look at so you know what it was that we actually did. So thanks to Chuck, he really ran lead on that whole thing and got it all done. So I appreciate that, Chuck.
He had the vision.
He's so proud.
So proud. Yes. All right, Salvation Army bell ringing. Kim, do you want to talk about that?
Yep.
Would you like to?
So I received an email yesterday from the Salvation Army, and they are going to still do the bell ringing this year. And they were asking if Rotarians want to participate in it. So we can still have Christmas Eve on the 24th at the same locations, the two Hy-Vee locations. So I guess what we need to know is whether you guys want to participate in this, because we would have to be able to fill 24 spots to be able to do it. Because it's from 9 to 3 on that Saturday, and it's 2 doors at 2 Hy-Vee locations. So they said everybody who does it has to wear masks. You have to wear gloves. They want your social distance from the kettle for safety, things like that. So I guess we just need to tell them whether you guys have any interest in it or not.
Show of hands, just kind of generally speaking. I've got John 1.
We usually have wonderful participation.
4, 5, 6. What?
Pretty sure you do that way.
Oh, yeah. Okay. 7 or 8 we can cover.
Probably Dave Weber too.
Okay. I would like to. That's always our family event.
I want to give for the new members like the history of why we do it. And then the memory of someone.
Well, this used to be Ray's.
This was Ray's project that he was very proud of, and always raised quite a bit of money every year from Rotary, just internally and through the kettles. So we tried to carry it on because he had passed away a couple years ago, and we've been trying to carry it on ever since to keep it going in his honor. So yeah, it's just 1-hour shifts is all it is. Like I said, you should be able to have a mask on and gloves and like that. So I think you'd be safe socially like that. But yeah.
All right. Super.
It sounds like we have enough interest that we can put our hat in for that. Okay. Is it possible to maybe shorten the hours if we don't have enough people for the whole
Well,
thing?
actually the 9 to 3 is the shortened hours because they're actually running 10 to 6 at most other places.
Okay.
So we would have to backfill the 10 to 3, the 9 to 3.
Wow, that's great.
All right. Thank you. Where's it going to be? All right. So, 50 things about Rotary. One last thing here, and then we'll move on to Music of the World. Actually, I think we'll do Happy Dollars first. So we talked about Interact last time. This time is number 41 is Rotaract. We don't have any Rotaract clubs in our area, but Rotaract, well, let me start at the beginning. So after the success of Interact clubs for the high school age youth in the early 1960s, the Rotary International Board created Rotaract in 1968. The new organization was designed to promote responsible citizenship and leadership potential in clubs of young men and women, aged 18 to 30. The first Rotaract club was chartered by the Charlotte North Rotary Club in Charlotte, North Carolina. By 1994, there were more than 149,000 members and more than 6,500 Rotaract clubs in 170 107 countries. Rotaract clubs emphasize the importance of individual responsibility as the basis of personal success and community involvement. Each club sponsors an annual project to promote high ethical standards in one's business and professional life. Rotaract also provides opportunities leading to greater international understanding and goodwill. Rotaractors enjoy many social activities as well as programs to improve their community. A Rotaract Club can exist only when continuously sponsored, guided, and counseled by a Rotary Club. The programs of Rotaract are built around the motto, fellowship through service. So we do not have a Rotaract Club in this area. We've talked about it at different times. It would be something to potentially start to engage the younger group. So something to kind of put in a long-term vision. All right, let's do Happy Dollars and other community announcements.
Happy Dollars.
All right, good sir, good sir. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm happy about a lot of things, but today a $5 shameless plug. My role as a volunteer board member for the Dubuque Community YWCA. This is October's Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And as many of you know, the Y operates the domestic violence shelter in town. So a lot of events going on this month to help support the operation of the shelter. We're in the middle of a $50,000 campaign to help operate that facility as a critical part of our mission. So I'm delayed. I should have done this last week to invite you to the vigil that was held on Thursday night last week, where we heard a story, a very passionate story from a survivor of the shelter and how the Y has helped turn her life and the life of her kids around. So ask you to reach out to the Y in some way to support silent auction, the diamond draw, Dolan Jewelers. Thank you, Mike and team, Nick, and everyone else for donating there. Buy a chance to win a gorgeous diamond and support the Y. So reach out to dubuquey.org/glimmer-of-hope. So unfortunately, we can't do the in-person event this year with the Glimmer of Hope, so everything's virtual. So thanks.
Steve, how long do we have to participate?
It ends at the end of the month. Is it the 29th is the wrap-up, somewhere around that time. So this week, log on and check it out. Thanks, Becky, too, for your volunteerism.
All right. So, Walt, we're going to let you introduce our speakers.
Gary Kilburg was born and raised in Bellevue, Iowa, and is the second oldest of 7 children. His father owned an electrical ag equipment business. Gary graduated from high school in 1987, left for basic training in June for the Iowa National Guard, and returned home to work with and for his father. From 1994 to 2006, Gary worked for Bellevue Sand and Gravel as the equipment operator and an electrician. In 2006, he joined the Corps of Engineers. In 2007, retired from the Iowa National Guard. Gary started with the Corps of Engineers at Lock and Dam number 12 in Bellevue as a pathway student, then took a full-time operator's position at Lock and Dam number 13, Fulton, Illinois. After that, he was transferred up to Lock and Dam number 11, Dubuque, in 2008, then back to Bellevue in 2011 and was promoted to a shift head there. In 2014, was promoted to Assistant Lockmaster at Lock and Dam number 11 here at Dubuque, then Lockmaster in number 16, where he still is currently. He is married to his wife Betty and has a daughter in college and still lives in the Bellevue area. Gary.
First off, thank you all for, okay.
You look prettier.
Yeah, you can do more than that.
Here's your deedee bopper.
Yep.
Where are you going with it, man?
First off, thank you all for inviting us and for the great lunch. Thank you much. Throughout the presentation, if anybody has any questions on a slide, you know, something that sparks a go ahead and stop me. It's easier then than to try and backtrack through and find the slide back. So very informal. That's more my style, I guess. So I don't know if people know, it's also called the Zebulon Pike Dam. Just a little bit of history. Some of these slides are informational. I'll try and not completely bore everyone, but the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers was established by Congress in 1779. In 1805, Lieutenant Zebulon Montgomery Pike was assigned to find sites for forts and determine the source of the Mississippi River, make peace between warring tribes, and stop unlicensed British trade. The French and British had been trading on the upper Mississippi for more than a century. In 1929, Congress authorized the construction of locks and dams on the Mississippi River to the purpose of maintaining a 9-foot channel. And also on the tables, any of that handouts there, you're welcome to take that home. That explains a little bit more about the 4, 6, and then ultimately the 9-foot channel. If you have trouble sleeping, you can read down. In 1933, a survey indicated the dam with locks should be constructed less than a mile above Speck's Ferry. The Army Corps of Engineers survey reported, however, they found the bedrock was not suitable. Second survey indicated Dubuque would be a good alternate. In addition, the project would provide jobs for the unemployed people. In late 1933, a precise location was constructed. For the construction, chose upstream of Eagle Point Bridge. Construction of the dam started September 30th, 1935. And actually, there was something in the TH, was that a month or so ago, about that used to be a swimming hole up there, I guess. I didn't know that until I read it in the paper. This is just a river map showing you kind of where Speck's Ferry is, so it's up kind of around the corner there, close to Mud Lake. So that's where it was originally intended to go. Cost of the building. Prior to construction, condemnation proceedings led to the removal of 29 cottages, 9 chicken houses, 3 ice houses, 2 smoke houses, and sadly 2 taverns. The total cost of the project came to $7.4 million, including land acquisition and site preparation. As many as 1,000 workers were employed at the site at one time, workers anywhere from 35 to 50 cents, and skilled labor at $1.25. 2 workers were killed. I'm poor with pronunciation, so I don't mean to offend anybody. Harold Arndt and Ardino Thompson were the only 2 that I could find that were killed during the construction.
The buildings he's talking about there are ones that are, a lot of you guys know where O'Leary's Lake area is. Be just north of the dam in that O'Leary's Lake area.
This is just, I went back to some archives. I'm not trying to point out that 7 people died in a plane crash in October 11th, 33, but in that article you'll see lock and dam will be built at Eagle Point. So it's just kind of bring it back to the Dubuque area with the TH there. Now we'll get into some photos, and one thing I compliment the Army Corps of Engineers, what they did back in the construction of this stuff, that I don't feel they do good enough today, is they had photographers hired, and you can see down in the lower right hand corner, the date kind of explained the photo a little bit. And a lot of these photos that we get are great quality. You can zoom in on them. It's great for us. We've even used them, in maintenance around there, to where it's like, how is, a lot of times I'm a believer, I don't care what the print says, if a photo says something different, that's probably what it is. This is kind of from the toll bridge looking back up. This is the construction of the lock. As you can see, October 26, 1934. This one has if you ever have been down there, you know where our lock house is. The reason I put this in is to capture, you can see the lock house, just a representation of what was all going on, and what is all now grass and a lock chamber was kind of chaotic then. There you can see that they're starting on the Wisconsin side of the dam, building it across till it meets up with the lock. And I think on some of these next slides you'll be able to see what Tim was talking about in some of them buildings. This one I just, I don't know if we have any doctors in the room, but this was their field hospital tour. You hoped you didn't get hurt, I guess.
Here's Dr. Weber.
This is a nice shot of some of the locks and dams are what I call rock founded. They're built on bedrock. Ours is built all on piling, and you can see all them posts in the ground are all the piling that the whole lock and dam system sit on. It's actually quite amazing. You can see they're driving the piles there in the background with the crane.
What are the piles made of?
Wood.
Really?
Typically, most of them were oak that was taken off of the islands.
That were going to be flooded?
Before the flood. The old swamp, white oak.
And with, from my understanding, I'm not a scientist, but with them in the muck underwater where they're not getting oxygen anymore, that they should never rot. And every 5 years, surveyors come out and they reshoot the whole lock and dam system to make sure everything's staying right where it should be. So, and then with that, they also drove sheet piling on the upstream side of the lock and the dam, because with it all being muck at the bottom, if you put the structure there, eventually the water would just try and undermine the whole system. Just another shot, you can see them slowly progressing across. They're working in all kinds of conditions. There's just another shot of their safety meeting. It's just a different era, I guess you'd say. You got the potbelly stoves there, everybody's huddled in a room. This one was, if you look, I don't know if you can see, some of you might not be able to see it, it's taken in January 1936. This, earlier, that photo I showed with all the piling, that they were driving piling in, this is a similar angle. That's all supposed to be dry in there. They had a cofferdam gave way and everything flooded in January. So things didn't go perfect for them back when they were building it also. That they had struggles also. They're almost complete. You can see most of the Wisconsin side of the dam is built, and they just keep progressing across. It's getting close to where it'll be joining up to the lock system. This is just, I thought of it, it's a neat photo of, you never see, this is all underwater now, of what the underside of the dam looks like. And then if you look on the top of them piers, you can see the machinery at the top. Fortunately, we haven't had to remove any of that. That's all original machinery up there. But if they do, they need to remove the roof off of the pier house and actually lift the stuff out. That's how it was designed, to where if they ever need to do anything. You can see them ballards at the bottom. They're just to slow the water down as it's coming through, because typically in the summertime like now, we have our gates. That what we're seeing there is called a Tainer gate, and the one to the right is called a roller gate. A lot of times people just by default will say the rollers. Technically, we only have 3 roller gates and 13 Tainer gates. Got an overall picture. You can see they're getting to the almost wrap-up stage. The structure itself made it all the way across. You can see O'Leary's in the background in the upper right, what we call O'Leary's Lake. Completed project. The facility was first put into operation on September 13th, 1937, when W.A. Turner, the resident engineer and first lockmaster of the dam, pressed a button closing the last of the 13 Tainer gates. It was expected that the locks would be fully functional in 3 days after the gates were lowered. The lock and dam was dedicated on August 21st, 1938, so it actually opened in the fall of 37, but it wasn't technically dedicated till the next year. Miss Hazel Skelm was the Centennial Queen and broke a bottle containing the water of the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. So I don't know if anyone's related to Miss Skillin. Are you?
Not related, but my mother worked with her.
Oh, really?
In another life.
That's pretty cool. So actually, what was her?
A nurse.
Okay.
And the step subdivision across the river is part of what she had, across the dam over there.
Okay.
And that's a little bit, I guess, north of where they just built that recreational.
Yeah, Coconut Cove.
Really? Okay, that's interesting.
I think there's still a farm there, isn't it? A scale farm?
Yeah. And I think, I don't know whether it's your grandson or son, he's an attorney in Platteville.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. I was hoping somebody would know the lady.
Now, the next time you do this, you'll have to bring him along.
And you remember in 06, 08, Tim was working at the lock at this point. We had a major rehab where they dewatered the lock chamber, resurfaced it, all new electrical, a lot of resurfacing of concrete, some new machinery, but like everything on the dam, other than changing the chains and the cogs, that's all original equipment. So, and they hit some ugly weather that winter.
Record snowfall at one winter when the dewatering was going on. The big issue for us was figuring out where to go with the snow.
When there was an accident last year, or 2 years ago, I think it was, there was a major barge, cut, got out of control.
Remember it well.
And it ended up piled up against the dam. Was there any damage to the dam?
The damage to our number one gate. It's all been fixed now, and there's some erosion underwater, because it's all, you virtually closed 2 of them gates off because you had partially sunken barges, and you forced the rest of the river through the other gates, so it did some eroding. But as far as structurally, just some damage on that first gate where that barge went through.
Yeah.
A little concrete that was busted up, but it's
okay.
Good to go.
We got a question over here.
So I think it was last summer, there was sort of a flash dewatering in our pool. Was that Clinton mistakenly opening up there?
Well, it would be above us.
Okay.
St. Paul district. Lock 10's the last lock and dam in the St. Paul district. Then it comes to, we're the first one, the Rock Island district. There was a little, I think, maybe miscommunication or whatever. Our hydrologist, we get all of our gate settings every day from our hydrologist. They have a picture of the whole river system, including, what St. Paul, what they're giving us. So they know what flows are coming down from St. Paul district, and then we adjust accordingly. But yeah, that was kind of a unique thing that we basically almost got, if we were real close to what we call our flat tail, to where our flat tail is 3.8 feet. When we hit 3.8 feet on our tail, or what you hear in the radio is called stage, that's our tail. That sea level wise would be the same as Bellevue's pool is. Because even if you look out there like today with no wind, it looks like it's glass out there. Technically the river is still, higher here than it is in Bellevue, because that's what's causing it to flow downriver.
Question here.
Do you coordinate with the lock and dam, with the railroad bridge, with the turn bridge, or
the towboats when they leave, they coordinate with the railroad bridge. Yeah.
Good for something like that. Last week when it was so windy out, they coordinated with us and let us know that they were locked in. When they get to 30 miles an hour, they lock the bridge.
I'll let you go.
Otherwise, things start to move by itself. So they locked in and then coordinated with us and let them know that, hey, we're shut down. If you got a towboat, just let them know that they can't pass. They can't go through here.
Sorry.
Was there ever any thought to a hydroelectric generation from the dam?
There has been studies of doing what they call a low head, because a lot of them hydro dams need a lot of head pressure, and they now we have probably 7-8 feet, but typically you're maybe only talking 4 feet of head, and it isn't enough to generate good reliable power.
Yeah, thank you.
Actually, I got a couple more here. I'll quickly go through.
Be our guest.
I'll make it speedy. This is just quick. I put it in there. They call it a bathtub theory because when we dewater our lock chamber here, you see river all around it. It acts like a bathtub, and we have to have relief holes at the bottom of the chamber. It'll try and blow it up.
Wow.
Just quick, some of the money that we use for major rehabs and new construction comes from the industry. They pay 29 cents a gallon fuel. For just our normal operation, the Army Corps pays 100% of it. This is just that's when the water goes over our miter gates. That's when we are technically closed. We cannot pass traffic anymore. Just a quick shot of some of the Lockmasters over the years, if any of them names ring a bell to anyone.
Look through obituaries to find
This was the first Lockmaster, and obviously our apparel has changed. This is another, just a quick deal of the Army Corps of Engineers isn't just in Dubuque, Iowa. We're global. We are this blue one. We are the Mississippi Valley Division, and we are Rock Island District. So it's just we are part of the Mississippi Valley Division, just like the other divisions around the country. Just some tonnage graphs. I won't bore you with them. Our tonnages that fluctuate. This has been a busy year. Just some of the quick comparisons. One barge can hold 1,750 ton. That's it. You know, we take a lot of truck traffic off the highway. And now questions or comments, and then there is, if you ever want, there's some YouTube videos about the history of the district. So
thank you.
Thank you guys for our time. I invite anyone to come down anytime. The observation deck is open. Enjoy some fall days down there, and take any of that literature with.
Thank you. All right, that was great.
Very, very interesting. Thanks for Walt for setting that up. All right, before we adjourn, I just want to say hello to Whitney Sanger, our newest member. We didn't introduce her because she's not a guest. She's technically a member, so welcome.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Another close-up, huh?
No, this is a close-up.
I just want to thank you all for allowing me to be a part of the Rotary Club. I'm really excited to learn and grow through you all. And I was hooked that first meeting that I had an opportunity to speak through Project Rooted. So thank you once again, and I look forward to years to come.
Sounds like
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We are adjourned.